Please don't do this. My ex begged, his eyes wide with shock. I looked from his pathetic face to the new man beside me. It's a little late for that. Isn't it? After what you did with him. You have nothing. The story of how I destroyed him starts here. I feel like my whole world has been tilted on its axis. To give you some context. My boyfriend. Fiancé. I guess. And I have been together for 5 years. We've built a life. We have our apartment. Our routines. Our inside jokes. We're not a traditional couple in every sense. About a year ago, we both decided it would be fun to invite another guy into the bedroom occasionally. It was a mutual decision. Something we explored together. And it was always just supposed to be that. A physical thing we shared. Things felt solid. So solid. In fact, that this past July, I proposed to him. He said yes. We cried. We celebrated with our families. I was on top of the world. Then, 48 hours ago, the floor just fell out from under me. He came to me after work, wouldn't look me in the eye, and just said, I think we need to break up. My brain couldn't process it. I asked him why, and he just shook his head. He said he didn't know, that he was confused. I don't treat you right. He kept repeating, it's not fair to you. He told me he had been feeling this way since January. A dark cloud just hanging over him. He was spiraling. Depressed. That night, we just slept in the same bed. Miles apart. My first thought wasn't anger. It was concern. Okay. I told myself. This is a depressive episode. He's scared of the commitment. Of marriage. We can work through this. The next day, we talked again. The first conversation was more of the same. He was a broken record of self-hatred and confusion. Then, in our second talk, something shifted. He admitted he was emotionally unavailable and knew he needed help. He wanted to start therapy, get on medication, and finally work on himself to be a better person and a better partner for me. I saw a sliver of the man I loved again. I told him I would support him. But I had one condition. 100 honesty. No more secrets. That's when he dropped the bomb. He took a deep breath and finally looked at me. He told me he had cheated on me with the guy we had threesomes with. The first time was in May. My mind short-circuited. May. 2 months before I got down on one knee and asked him to be my husband. I was planning the most significant moment of my life. And he was carrying this. Then came the second punch. He said it happened again. Last week. While I was on a trip with my family. Suddenly, his depression didn't feel like the whole story anymore. It felt like a cover. I realized that the man I did just agreed to marry had been lying to my face for months. The engagement. Our future. All of it felt tainted and fake. I'm just sitting here now, replaying every happy moment since May. And I can't help but wonder what was real. I demanded honesty to try and save us. But the truth might have just destroyed everything. Reddit. I'm completely lost. How do you even begin to wrap your head around a betrayal that rewrites your own history? After the initial shock wore off, a million questions started flooding my brain. I needed to understand why. He sat on the edge of the bed, refusing to look at me. And his voice was barely a whisper. I'm not trying to make an excuse. He started. Which is exactly what people say before they make an excuse. But you know we haven't been having sex. Not penetrative sex. Not like we used to. The words hit a nerve. A raw, exposed one that he knew all about. It's been a massive insecurity of mine for years. My body just doesn't respond the way it used to. And we've had so many tearful conversations about how I feel like I'm failing him. He knows it's my biggest vulnerability. There's nothing romantic going on with him. He insisted. I just got drunk and got horny. I'm so sorry. My mind was trying to process this. Was he just being brutally honest? Or was he weaponizing my insecurity to soften the blow? It felt like he was handing me a piece of the blame. The logic was cold and simple in his eyes. Problem A. No sex. Led to solution B. Sex with someone else. And a sick part of me started to internalize it. Then, my own hypocrisy crept in. A few years ago. During a rough patch. I got too close to a coworker. Nothing physical ever happened. But I was emotionally unfaithful. I was texting him constantly. Sharing things I should have been sharing with my boyfriend. And craving that emotional intimacy. I eventually cut it off and confessed. And he forgave me. Now, my brain is drawing parallels. How can I stand on a moral high ground when I've strayed in my own way? Was my emotional affair better or worse than his drunken physical one? I keep telling myself that his was a self-destructive act fueled by depression and guilt. Especially after I proposed. It sounds like I'm making excuses for him. I know. But I've seen self-destruction up close. And this feels like it. As I was spiraling, I called my mom. After I told her everything. She was quiet for a moment. And then she shared a story I'd never heard before. She told me that years ago, my dad had cheated on her. He didn't just sleep with someone. He sat my mom down and said the words every married person dreads. I don't love you. I love someone else. He was ready to leave. But in the end, he realized he'd made a catastrophic mistake and begged for forgiveness. My mom said it took a long time to heal. But she eventually did. They're still happily married today. I clung to that story like a life raft. It felt like a blueprint. A sign that even the most shattered things can be put back together. My dad's betrayal felt so much more profound. An emotional and physical affair. And they survived. It makes me wonder if I'm supposed to be strong like my mom was. Am I supposed to see this as a massive, terrible mistake that we can overcome? Or am I just using her story to justify ignoring a huge red flag? I'm writing this from the couch he and I spent a week picking out 2 years ago. His stupid oversized hoodie is thrown over the armchair where he always leaves it. Every corner of this apartment is a memory. A testament to the life we meticulously built together. Our names are on the lease. Our books are mixed together on the shelves. Our whole world is contained within these 4 walls. Walking away doesn't just mean leaving him. It means packing up 5 years of a shared existence into cardboard boxes. How do you even start to do that? It's not just the physical things. Either. His family is my family. His sister is one of my best friends. We text almost every day. Sharing stupid memes and serious life advice. She was the first person I told after I decided to propose. She was going to be my maid of honor. The thought of telling her, of seeing the pain and conflict on her face, makes me physically ill. How do you just amputate people you love from your life because the person connecting you to them broke everything? Losing him is one thing, but losing them feels like a second, separate death. He swears he'll do anything to fix this. He's already looking up therapists. He says he'll start medication. That he'll do the work to figure out why he sabotages everything good in his life. A part of me, the part that still loves him desperately, sees a glimmer of hope in that. It sees the man I fell in love with. The one who is kind and funny and who, I believe, is genuinely horrified by what he's done. He's not a monster. He's a man who made some monstrously dumbass decisions while he was drowning. But then the other part of my brain kicks in. It asks the hard questions. How do you actually rebuild trust from ground zero? It's not a switch you can just flip. Will I spend the rest of our lives wondering? Every time he's late from work. Will my stomach clench? Every time his phone buzzes with a text. Will I feel that jolt of suspicion? I don't want to become a detective in my own relationship. I can't live with that kind of anxiety. And it's not fair to either of us to try. I've always prided myself on being a forgiving person. I try my best to see both sides. To understand the why behind people's mistakes. But there's a thin line between forgiveness and being a doormat. And right now I'm terrified I can't see where it is. My head is full of conflict. Weighing the man I know and love against the actions that have completely shattered me. So, Reddit, what should I do? Do I cling to the 5 years of love? The beautiful life we've built? And his promises to get better? Hoping this is a terrible chapter and not the end of the book. Or do I walk away from everything and everyone I've grown to love to protect myself from a man who chose to betray me not once, but twice? Using my deepest insecurity as part of his justification.